here you can see what updates we have planned at the moment for the future. Yes, let's move so that we make sure that you're not covering. I am Davide, the community developer for the game, and together with me I have my friend Jimmy, if I can call you friend. Can I call you friend?
You can call me friend,
okay.
Obviously.
He's the other string guy, as we already established. And we have a special guest with us today. You already know him, Matti from Tampere. Hi Matti, how is it going over there?
Hello, just fine. Looking forward to this.
So Matti, I had the same question I asked Jimmy. Can I call you friend?
Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So my friend Matti from Tampere.
Yes.
I have plenty of friends here.
That was more of a go ahead, see what happens.
Yeah. Let's start digging into the first point that we have for today, the changes to the world map. What changed the world map? I can already see that all of the stuff changed. What is
Lots of stuff. Yeah. Overall, like the old world map wasn't bad, but it was a bit flat. So what we did was add more mountains, as you can see here, and even some scary mountains, or volcanoes, as someone might call them. You can also see some roads from the previous civilizations here and there in different biomes. Our urban sector is now much more urban. You can see lots of bigger houses as well.
And then let's move to the next point, which is Outposts, the feature that gave the name to the update.
Yeah, so let's start with the colony map. And with Outposts, we wanted to address one of the big community feedbacks we got, which was running around the world map, going back and forth to the colony to drop off different items. So now we have, first of all, a tech for it in the exploration section called Frontier Outposts. And these allow you to build the outpost depot itself.
Okay, and how many science points does it cost? Because here it's already unlocked, so in case players are curious. Is it 250?
I think it's 250 or 200.
Okay.
By the way. But yeah, so you'll be able to unlock it pretty early on if you want.
Okay.
And this is the outpost depot itself. Like, this is now pre-built. So when you build it, it prompts you to select an outpost spot on the map. You can view the existing one, which is over here. So here you can see it's some ways from the colony. So if, for example, Mingadi would want to drop all these nice planks and components back, he'd have to run back all the way to the colony. But instead, we've built this nice outpost over here next to more components. It also displays your colony flag on the outpost itself, which is nice. So now when you move your specialist here, he automatically drops the stuff. And it's, at the moment, instantly transported here to the outpost. And this works just as any other stockpile. So your colonists will take advantage of these resources when they need them. Just to show you real quick how the outposts are built. So now I have a new depot here. I'll establish a outpost, and it highlights all the possible places you can do this. So you can go like all the way up north here and really help like gathering all this good stuff here and not have to run all the way back. So I'll set it up here. Now we have an outpost on the tundra.
When a specialist goes to an outpost and the specialist is wounded, will he or she get like hit points back, or that's not possible?
And someone just asked that in chat.
Yeah.
At the moment, no.
Okay.
We are still thinking whether we should do it at some point with a tech upgrade or something else. But now it's purposefully disabled, so your specialists have to come back to town and heal at some point.
Okay, so you may want to
less than before, but still at times you want to bring them back. So you still have a penalty for tripping all those hazards and fighting bandits.
Another change that I know we're going to introduce is also a bunch of new specialists that are coming to the game together with this update. Can maybe show them? Okay, they are right here surrounding, and I think we're also covering a bunch of them. So here, plenty of specialists. Specialists for everyone.
Yeah, plenty of specialists for you to get killed.
Yeah, we should really do the bingo table. Let's go to the next point of this update, which are the societies. So, Matti, can you explain us what are societies and how we can interact with them?
Okay, so societies, as you can probably see, have appeared on the map. You find them and sort of start your relations with them by discovering the sector they are in, by scouting sectors on the world map. So, for example, here you have Greentown. It's pretty close by, so the travel time is about 2 days, which comes in later. And it trades in planks, carrots, and bread, which you can then trade with Greentown. And we have Little Anvil a bit further away, 4 days away. And they deal mostly in metal and parts and that sort of stuff. So all of them have their own story, own specialties that you can try and find and take advantage of. Once you've discovered a society, you can build the trade center, which is this big building next to the gate over here, and it will have the worker slots. And if you have one filled, you can conduct one trade deal, which is accessed from here with the new trade button.
Okay, nice.
So here you can see you've encountered 2 societies, Little Anvil and Greentown. You have one possible active trade route, and new deals will come in a bit over 1 day. So here you have the deals from Greentown and here from Little Anvil. What they are, how many of them are there, and how long it takes till they get back to your colony. I want metal, so I'll accept this one. So it shows me I've spent all my active trade routes, and they will start traveling towards our colony.
Okay, so the bottom bar is actually a progress bar that I will see filling slowly as. Okay.
Let's speed this up a little bit. So you
nice.
slowly filling up. It's 4 days away, so there's quite a lot of ground to cover. And now I want to add more trade routes. I'll just add one more person. And now, again, I can take bread from Greentown, for example. And now I have to build more trade centers if I want to expand even further. At the moment, you're spending resources to build the trade center, spending time to get the resources, and spending people to uphold the trade routes. But later, you'll have to pay.
Okay, so this is the first iteration of this new system that we're introducing. And the other question I have, will only basic resources be offered for trade, or maybe like traveling further down the map may I also find really advanced components, which are the ones that I struggle the most?
Yeah, you can find components, you can find science points.
Okay.
You can find medicine parts and all the lower tier stuff as well. It depends on who you encounter and what deals they have up at the moment. So you might want to check the deals later when they expire and they give new ones.
It's a new update, so it comes also with a bunch of balance changes that will particularly interest our active players. Can you talk about what has been changed since the current build?
Yeah, like the 2 biggest ones are probably the birth rate and water. So with birth rate and in general in how quickly the colony grows, that has been a big thing on the community forums. So we are toning that down.
Yes.
So people are a bit less likely to reproduce, and also the survivor groups won't grow so big as before. So your colony will grow slightly slower, and you should be able to control how much food or water they spend easier. And also the water production is being changed as well. So if you, for example, build these water towers, they won't dry up or like empty so quickly as they have now. So building these will give you more leeway in dealing with heat waves and pandemics and their increased water consumption rates.
So basically the strategy will also change, because at the moment I have the feeling at least that the best way to deal with those is just build a bunch of wells around the map. Instead, these should change also the approach to those calamities or catastrophes.
Yeah, and also at the same time, the towers are now cheaper. So you definitely want to have a few of those in addition to a healthy number of wells.
I also heard that you're making changes to the extractors that were introduced with the colony updates. Can you explain us how these are changed and how it will impact the...
Yep. You can probably already see one here.
Yeah.
So now instead of extractors being placed on the dry soil, you have to place them on these underground deposits. And you get these deposits by digging out all the metal, or for example, in this case, all this plastic from here. So once this is scavenged with the recycler, it turns into this underground deposit.
Okay.
And you place your extractor next to it. So this is the new way, and it's more controlled way of building extractors. So and for example, with metal, it looks like this, and here's one for concrete, which you uncover by scavenging the ruins, like the big deposits.
And also I heard that some of the calamities are also being changed, like slightly, like nuclear fallout and meteor shower in particular. I was reading on Reddit, the forums and Discord. Were a bit too deadly, and so we're tuning them down, if I heard correctly.
Yeah, like the nuclear fallout and the meteor showers are getting a bit of tune up or tune down, specifically.
Oh,
pandemic is still fine.
This is not scripted.
Yeah, so they're slightly less deadly, so they're more in line with other catastrophes. But the whole idea of designing different ones is to bring different challenges to the game, to different kinds of colonies. So one colony might survive a certain catastrophe easier than another one would. So you're constantly being tested a bit. So, but like that's a thing we'll be balancing from this day till release and after that.
I think we come down to the last feature for this update.
Yeah.
Which are statistics, because we revamped the statistics menu, introducing something that was also heavily requested by the community.
Which is graphs.
Graphs are here.
Nice.
So
there we go.
You can follow your resource consumption and production a bit easier in this graphical way. So you can see that, for example, fish is used pretty evenly at the moment, with now consumption going a bit higher, or like fiber being produced a lot. Now, like in this year, we activated the tailor again, so it's like using a bit less than it's produced. So this is just to help players keep track of everything and plan ahead on should I add this, or should I build that, or should I trade this, or what should I do, and provide more information on what the key issues in the colony are.
Okay. And so, is this all you're going to implement, or this is just the start as usual?
Yeah, it's as usual. It's the first version. We're planning on updating this, and we are especially interested in hearing the community reaction to this. Like what would they want to see? What kind of graphs would help them the most?
Actually, it was mentioned today on Discord. There was somebody who was like, I have a suggestion. I would like this to be implemented. Well, dear Discord user, as Matti will show us, Matti, can you go on the warm-up and show the other big change you made? It's a small change, but it's a big change.
It's a small big one, sure. So now, in addition to you being able to click anywhere to move your specialists, so you no longer have to target locations. But also, if you are too far away from your colony, for example, and you move your specialists here and keep it there, go back to the world map, the specialist, once they have their full movement back, which you can actually see from this indicator here. Once it fills up to this little point here, they'll automatically move towards where you told them to go. So if you want to recall all your guys and gals from the world map, just point them to the colony and wait. You don't have to move them again if you don't want to. You can also, of course, you can always interrupt them, have them do something else. But if you don't, they'll automatically move towards that point you sent them to.
Another thing that I understood from when you were explaining the system is also that the turn rate for the turn rate, I don't know if that's the right term, but basically the way the turns, the action points are resetted is also changing and is more bound to the display
Yes. So as you can see here, once this meter is filled up, every single specialist gets their action points back. So instead of having them separate, fill up individually, they now fill up at the same time. So you have less reasons to go back and forth the world map and the colony map all the time.
Here you can see what updates we have planned at the moment for the future. Yes, let's move so that we make sure that you're not covering. And their names. So we are not, you can see we cover the part that tells you the number of the update because we are not sure yet that the timeline we have is the final one. Things are subject to change. Let me repeat this. I cannot repeat this enough. Things will change. Game development is a complicated process, and also your feedback will determine a lot on how the future of the game is going to be. But this is an overview of the areas where we would like to work. These are all the names of the updates that we currently planned, as I said. And yeah, we're going to share this, and at least you have a reference. Of course, we're not done with sharing our vision. We want to provide you with more vision. We're just trying to find the best ways to make sure that you get the information you need and in a way that is clear. Do we have any question of Twitch chat talking about questions?
Let's see. Do you consider giving the player more control on which colonist works in which buildings? It would make the bonuses of colonists more relevant and interesting.
The thing is that the colony grows up pretty fast. So micromanagement is something that we have to do really well and really think on how deep we want to go with it. Otherwise, if a player feels like they have to micromanage to survive, and you have 100 or 150 people in your colony, it starts to feel really overwhelming. So the way we do it has to be really well thought out.
Trilos says maybe in next update weapons, or can we have animals in colonies? those are on different sides of the spectrum.
Okay, I was like,
So you want to use those weapons to shoot those animals?
I don't think so, because people seem very happy about it, like doggos. Yay.
Yeah. There are already some animals in roaming about, but we are in the process of doing both those things. When it's gonna happen and how it's gonna happen is yet unsure, but we definitely want to do them both.
will mod tools keep pace with the monthly updates?
They should. I can't go into details on how that's going. That's more something for our programmers. But yeah, we definitely want to keep up with the mod tools and updates. And there's like if there's something missing or working incorrectly, just like keep us posted, and we'll look into that.
Yeah, I also want to remind our viewers that modding is really important to us and to Iceflake. Like in particular, Iceflake really has a background. I think that this is how Lasse started. The other game is the lead game designer.
Yeah. The Iceflake was sort of founded on mods.
Exactly.
So that's a really big background thing for us.
So we had a question in the chat about giving specialists the possibility to level up, and then there is this question that says also, will there be a specialist training facility so that we can make it even more specialist? Is this something that you're considering?
We've talked about it, and can't go into details yet because there are no details to share. Okay. But it's definitely one of those things we want to do, so that you the specialists you use the most feel more special or more personal to you.
Do you consider a way to improve housing that does not involve destroying all lower tier buildings when we get the upper tech?
Yeah, like upgrading from lower tier housing to higher. It is possible. The biggest problem there is that it'll probably break the saves completely, because then we'd have to unify the size of the buildings, and at the moment they are not. So we might do it or we might not do it. But it's like we've heard the complaints and read the messages. We are aware that a lot of people would like to see that in game. So it's definitely not something that we are not doing.
Okay, I think that this is it for today. I think that
we went over the updates.
We answered your question. As usual, you can find us here every Tuesday and ask us questions. And sometimes we also have the developers with us. Today we had Matti, which we thanked for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And from Stockholm and Tampere for today, that is everything.